Alright guys, what's going on? It's 21 Maxwell here and welcome to episode number 12 of the TEW Ruthless Aggression series. We are doing our first show post WWE Draft for 2004, which is of course Smackdown, so this will be kind of just introducing some feuds here before then when we go to Raw for the next episode, introducing more feuds there, and then carrying on and basically, you know, having full creative freedom with Raw and Smackdown and changing it completely different to what it was like in real life. So I got a decent show today. We have 13 segments. We get 3 pre-show segments as we continue to build up characters that will be debuting soon. And basically it's me having to get into tune with these kind of storylines again because I'd booked the show, I hadn't recorded it, and then FM came out and I've obviously played a hell of a lot of FM, so just going to have to, the next couple of episodes, just remember where I was going with these storylines, book the shows, and then hopefully when that momentum flows, when the booking momentum flows, that is when you get just the best shows in my opinion. With TW, you have to, if you book a couple of shows in a row and you know where you're going, you're always just gonna just keep taking that next step. It's just, I just prefer it that way. I can never just go, I'll book one show, but the next show tomorrow. I need to go, right, of the ideas, I need that idea to transition into a second show and so on. But I say, well, I'm going to book this anyway, and I'm probably during this sitting anyway going to book a couple of shows after it, which will obviously be the next couple of YouTube recordings. But anyway, on to this episode, as I say, it's Smackdown. We're booking it in North Carolina, in the Cameron Indoor Stadium. We're expecting about 10,000, a sellout. I think it said Mid-Atlantic gets us 9,000, so if we can get a sellout, that'd be ideal. First show here. Hopefully we can get back to getting our way back up to national. Obviously the wrestling industry is really struggling, which I'm sure it was at this time. But anyway, let's kick on with the show and let's see how we do. So we start off with an extremely short match. Tajiri defeats Morishima in 5:09 by pinfall with a buzzsaw kick. Again, just getting Morishima more exposure on a national level. 54C minus. I mean, that would be probably a good 60-70 match once it hits the main roster and once it gets over. So I'm happy with that. Good match there. Well done, guys. Next up, an extremely short match. Shawn here squashes Paul London in 5:22 with a Senton Bomb, 38D minus. And the final one again is just James Mitchell on the stick saying he'd like to introduce everyone to his newest client, who is Muhammad Hassan, 30E plus. Again, we have to build up this character. He's just going to go to the main roster and it's just going to flop. So here we go with the full Smackdown show. So start off, Vince McMahon comes out and he announces that Mick Foley has been announced as the new authority figure, the new GM of SmackDown. A solid 87B obviously because of their star power. So I am delighted with that. Well done, boys. Mick Foley then books a tag team match that will see Brock Lesnar and Kane take on John Cena and The Undertaker in our main event. 67C+, the destruction of the brothers storyline has advanced through this segment. Sheamus just done a cold crowd, but we can deal with that. Don't need to book that, that's fine. And about the feature, great action and average heat. Rey Mysterio defeated the Hurricane in 9:56 by pinfall with 619. Rey Mysterio makes defense number 8 of his Cruiserweight title. Of course, this is the Hurricane's debut on SmackDown after being drafted from Raw. 59C. And the only real positive is the Hurricane foreshadowed a heel turn during this segment and is improving his worker skills. So we're going to start obviously transitioning him from the Hurricane. And as you can see here, after the match, Rey Mysterio offers to shake the hand of the Hurricane, but he refuses and walks off. As I say, we're going to change him from the Hurricane and hopefully slowly bring in that Gregory Helms character, just like real life, but a couple of months beforehand. So 67C+, and hopefully once we get the Hurricane good momentum, and Rey good momentum, we can have some good feuds between them. I don't want to turn them just yet. I want to keep building it up and building it up. In an extremely short match, the Big Show defeated Rikishi in 5 minutes and 10 by pinfall with a chokeslam, 54C minus. Again, just a squash match to put the Big Show over. Quite happy with that. Then Joey Styles is backstage talking about John Bradshaw Layfield, talking about his upcoming match, a 65C, as we continue to push the JBL character as well. So that's fairly decent from JBL. Again, that'll take time until we get the character over and then momentum over, and then hopefully it'll be awesome. I don't like how it says he was penalised for a poor gimmick though. And the match had some good action but not much in the way of heat. JBL defeats Billy Gunn in 7:03 by pinfall with a clothesline from hell. Only a 52D+, but Billy Gunn is pretty much a jobber at this stage. And unless I can get the Outlaws doing something, I really do think that he is just going to possibly get released. Billy Gunn is then celebrating in the ring. John Bradshaw Danny Basham and Doug Basham run in, beating down Billy Gunn to the mat. A 39C- is pretty disappointing considering that was me wanting to build the cabinet like it was built in real life. Obviously I'm going to wait till Orlando droppings up, but if they're only getting ratings of 39D+, then that is a worry, because this was like one of the stables that took over Smackdown, so the fact that this is just a 39D- is worrying. In a match that had some good action and average heat, RVD defeats the A-Train in 9:05 by pinfall with a 5-star frog splash. Teddy Long does good work at ringside, for the A-Train. A decent match, hopefully again it's putting RVD over. He'll have a good wee run on SmackDown that he would never have got on Raw. Rob Van Dam's then celebrating in the ring. The Big Show runs in and attacks him, beating down RVD into the mat. 72B-. So obviously Big Show's angry that RVD's trying to steal his spot, and the Big Show's just decided, nah, screw this, and just decides to just beat him up effectively. In a bout that featured great action and average heat, Christian and Rhino defeated Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero in 13:41, when Christian defeated Chris Benoit by pinfall, illegally using the ropes for leverage. A 64C. I was kind of hoping for a bit better. Rhino had been pushing well. Christian had a good feud with, was teaming well with Jericho, but I thought he would get a better run on SmackDown. Just need to get these teams some more overness. I think that's what's costing Benoit and Guerrero, because I've yet to have a really good match out, good rating out of them. I'm obviously assuming the technical aspect of the match will be good, but we'll see. Benoit's improving his performance skills. If we keep using them, then hopefully we'll get them over. The Undertaker's in the ring talking about how good he is, 86B+. And then the main event match, which should drag our rating way up, and about the featured great action and a good crowd. John Cena and Undertaker defeats Kane and Brock Lesnar in 21:35, when Undertaker defeats Kane by pinfall with a last ride, 88B+. That was Undertaker off his game. Paul Heyman did good work at ringside. The destruction of the brothers storylines continued. Cena and Taker get good chemistry, so that could be a main event kind of tag team. You know, we're both in a feud against the other guys. We'll put yours together and we'll get a good rating. A solid 88 from them. Save the Show put up to an 82B, so the main event effectively was the show. As long as you get a good main event, your show should do well. There's no comments to be made about the show because we're still in the shock phase, because we are now back down to cult because of the way the wrestling industry, but that's just going to keep going down and down until the wrestling industry decides to pick itself back up. When that will be, God only knows. So we get good feedback. It says we really struck gold with the show. That's good. Any other interesting stuff? Kenta has been rising. If only we could pinch Kenta. We've got TNA, their sights set and stuff. Apart from that, Maven's won a title somewhere, but not much happening elsewhere. Quick look at the news then. J Sports are unhappy, and that is us getting a 1.40, so I don't know why we're getting poor ratings, because I think my shows have been pretty decent. Interesting. We'll see the size again. We need to reach 65%, over 65% of the 8 regions of America. We've got it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we either need to get the southwest up or the northwest, but unfortunately, because they were in shock, I can't get it up, so I need to just keep waiting. That sounded so wrong. But you know what I mean, guys, you know what I mean? It'll just take a wee bit of time, and then eventually, once the industry starts to come back, hopefully, we'll get it up. So we'll keep working on the southwest and the northwest, and hopefully, we'll get back to national, and I can start that run to get international. The pay-per-view is scheduled for the 4th of April, so we'll get 3 more Raws to build up towards that as a Raw only pay-per-view. So that's what I like. You get more build with your Raws and Smackdowns. You know what I mean? There'll maybe like 6 Smackdowns we'll have to build up for the Smackdown pay-per-view. Judgment Day, I believe it is, and maybe 4 for Raw. But as soon as we do the next pay-per-view after that, it's a hell of a long time. So it's great. A lot of build up, and I'm happy with that. So hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. I'll try and keep up with the schedule and just try and keep the videos every Monday, every Tuesday, and every Friday, and every pay-per-view on a Sunday. But until then, guys, take it easy. Hope you enjoyed the show. I'll talk to you again real soon. Bye bye.